So good evening, my lovely yogis. And just beginning on your mats, wherever you're most comfortable this evening. So just if you prefer seated, that's fine, or lying down for a few minutes. And we'll just sort of come into this relaxing space. Have a moment just to perhaps take a deep breath and a long exhale and just start to tune into you, into your breath, into how you're feeling in this moment. Scanning through your body. Just gently aware of anything that you need to be gentle with this evening, whether it's knees, hips, shoulders, back. Observing your satya and ahimsa. And just a gentle inquiry, what do you want to gain from your practice this evening? Yin is a very beautiful, almost restorative practice, a deep stretch, very mindful. Lots of sort of gaps between talking, just prompts to guide you. And in that space, in the silence, is that place where you do really start to inquire about yourself, which is the true yogic philosophy, is to return and learn about yourself. Anything that doesn't feel right this evening, just adapting the pose, shifting, changing, or completely coming out and doing something else. It's your practice, so really do listen to your body. So when you're ready, just have another breath, and if you're lying down, just perhaps have a full body stretch for a moment, and then begin to draw your knees in, gently rocking. And if you're already seated, maybe rolling the shoulders or just tilting the head feels quite refreshing and connecting to your body. And then when you're ready, you can come to seated for Zazen. Zazen means seated meditation. And this evening we'll take the practice of mindfulness of breath. It's a really lovely way of actually just sort of softening our brain waves from the busy beta waves of the day into sort of an alpha state. So there's 4 parts to the mindfulness of breath. First part, we count the out breath 1 to 10. Second part, we switch and we start to count the in breath 1 to 10. Third part, we just stop the counting altogether. And then the fourth part is where we've become quite mindful and we really do tune into the mechanics of the breath, the temperature around the nostrils, the movement of the ribs, just everything that you feel, being basically mindful of the breath. It's a lovely Buddhist practice that I learned many, many years ago. So it takes about 5 minutes, but I'll time it anyway. So come into a nice comfortable seated position. Just rest your hands one on top of the other, thumbs touching in what we call dhyana mudra. And we'll let the eyelids close. Make sure you're comfortable, either seated on a cushion or wherever you are. Starting to relax the face. And really just hand yourself over to this practice. So when you're ready, counting the out breath 1 to 10. No need to rush, we can take our time. Relaxing your face. After the 10 out breaths, just turn to start to count the inhale in each one, 1 to 10. Noticing how different it feels. Full breaths. After 10 inhales, just relax the counting altogether. Just tune into your breath. Breathe into belly. And now really turning your awareness to the breath. Be mindful of the temperature around the nostrils, the gentle suction and flare. The belly, the rib cage, the arms moving as you breathe. Notice if your breath is becoming longer and deeper. And then very gently we'll just take one more breath and blink our eyes open. Notice how that felt for you, whether that felt a long time, that was exactly 5 minutes. That lovely little practice of just gradually bringing your awareness all down to the simple act of your breath and sitting there in this just beautiful mindful state. Maybe you could have sat there a bit longer, or maybe you were absolutely bored and ready to come out. Every time will be different. So we're going to come into seal, our first pose, which is pretty much like Sphinx. As an evening practice, I really quite like to take a little cushion under the lower ribs. It just supports in the pose. The idea of yin is to become completely passive, to let everything that would normally be tense and active in the muscular system to just relax, be passive and soften, just melt into each pose. If you've got a block or anything, you can use it for your forehead if you wish. You don't have to. It's just there if you want to. Otherwise, let's just come into this very subtle lower back bend. Take your arms a little wider if you need to come lower to the mat. And then just relaxing. Try to relax your buttocks, backs of your legs and thighs. Notice as you relax, maybe your heels roll into the center. Checking in with your lower back, whether you still feel tense. Gradually with the breath, you might feel safe enough to relax. And then as everything starts to give way a little bit, turn your awareness to your arms and your shoulders and upper back. If you want to let the head relax forward, you can. Wherever you can get the most relaxation. And in the quiet moments, just following your belly breathing, the movement into the chest. If your lower back does feel a little tender, just really direct the breath low into the belly. Feel it push into the lower back. Keep softening everywhere. Relaxing your hands, your wrists, your forearms. Noticing if the body has started to soften into this deep stretch. Can you feel your heartbeat or a gentle pulse through the abdomen? And so we'll just take one more breath now. Slowly, just letting yourself lower before you then push yourself up. We're going to turn over onto our back into Shavasana. Take your time coming out of that back bend, lowering down gently. There is no rush with this practice. The essence of yin is to slow down. Be more mindful of all movements, transitioning, and then just lying down. We'll take a few moments here just to explore what we're feeling, where we're feeling it. So just focus on your breath, focus on any sensation you feel. And the thing that we often get through our yin practice is the movement of the qi. Can sometimes feel like a coolness or a tingling or just a shift in temperature in patches throughout your body, maybe through your chest, maybe through your inner legs possibly. Just explore how the lower back feels, how it feels to breathe as we open into the chest with that seal pose. Lovely one for your urinary bladder, that position, which the meridians travel all the way down the back, aligning with the spine. So gently, let's draw the knees in, right one, then left one. We're going to come into supported bridge next, which is a sort of a nice counter pose, a gentle pose. So if you have a block, you can do it with a block. If you have a bolster, then this is nice and an alternative as well, and a little bit softer in fact. So I'll show you all options. The block, we know what bridge is, it's where we come up into this pose. So you can either have the block on the top height. If you're feeling a little bit more restorative, bring it down to the lower height. And certainly with the block, making sure that it just rests on the sacral part of the spine, not the lumbar. If you don't have a block and you do have a bolster, then just bringing this under the body in a way that you can just lift your body into that bridge pose. So lifting up, maybe having to wriggle a little bit, and then just positioning the bolster so you're in this lifted position. It's called supported bridge. So by whatever means or props you're supporting with. And in fact, the bolster's really quite a comfortable way to rest the body upwards. So now that I'm here, I will stay here. If you have a block, that's absolutely fine. So just allowing your body to soften here. In Hatha, we are usually trying to keep the legs parallel and very engaged in the buttocks and thighs. With Yin, we just let everything relax and soften. Deep breaths. Allow your nervous system to calm and just restore to homeostasis. Notice where your shoulders and upper back connect to the mat. And just be aware of any tension, even if it's minute, that you're holding there, whether the shoulders are creeping up to the ears. And just every now and then come back to this part and relax. Relaxing through the back of your neck and all of your facial muscles. Relaxing the legs. Notice if your legs just want to sort of fall a little bit out to the sides. Softening your buttocks, backs of the thighs. And then rotating your awareness back to the upper back and shoulders. Just keep looking through your body for anything that feels tight and tense, and just let it relax. Passive pose. And then very gently, we will come out of this pose. So coming onto the tiptoes perhaps, lifting slowly either your bolster or your block, popping them to the side, and gently finding Shavasana. And noticing gently how you feel. Bridge pose, quite stimulating on your throat chakra. So notice any subtle body energy shift here, any perhaps coldness or coolness that you find in the lumbar spine area. Perhaps a tingling through the buttocks, chi is moving. And perhaps just a really nourishing sensation around this lower sacral and solar plexus area of the body. Deep breath, long sigh. And even as you lie here, notice any tension that you're still holding. So gently, let's again draw the knees in, one at a time. Take a moment to rock. Just enjoy how it feels through your body. How nice it feels just to sort of be at one with yourself. And so we're going to come into a pose called twisted roots. So it's a lying spinal twist. For this pose, I suggest two props, a cushion for the knees and another cushion if you have one, or just a rolled up blanket for the opposite shoulder, because you will sort of need it to support you to become as relaxed as you can. So if you can't come into a twist or this aggravates your sides or hips, choose another two-sided pose. Right, so we begin lying down. Have your pillow to the right hand side and maybe another little cushion or support to your left shoulder. And so with the knees bent, bring your left leg over your right so that we're crossing. And then gently start to roll to your right. This is where you're going to want something to rest your knees on, and I like just a little rolled blanket or a cushion just for my left shoulder, so that I'm not suspended in the air and that I actually have something to rest the shoulder and slight part of the upper back on. And then just start to find where you can become comfortable here. If you need more support under the side of your body because it's a bit uncomfortable around the hips, pop another blanket down or something cushioning. So twisted roots, deep spinal twist. Really lovely for your digestive system, your gallbladder, your liver and your kidneys. Start to try and relax the inner legs, the inner thighs. There will be tension there initially. Maybe your legs will sort of start to slip a little, that's fine. Relax the lower back and buttocks. Arms can be wherever you want them to be, wherever you're comfortable. Keep relaxing the places that you relax, perhaps inner thighs. around the groin, buttocks. Just keep returning because you'll find that they tense up again. Drawing your awareness to your breath. As you breathe, notice how the breath spirals and moves through your body. Perhaps the deep stretch that you're now feeling across the left hip, buttock and waist area. Relax the neck. And just inquire what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. If you need to pull back out of this pose a little, adjust in any way. Being very mindful of what's going on. Keep relaxing. Notice if your hands and wrists are relaxed. Returning to the inner thighs. And then we'll just take one more breath here. And gently coming up, really slowly, whenever you come out of a twist, just be very mindful of uncrossing the legs, just coming back onto the back of your body, nice and flat. Let's take a few moments. It's often in these quiet times in Shavasana between the poses that you really feel the after effects. They're quite juicy sometimes. Maybe there's a coldness down the right side of your ribs. If you just need to wag your tail or rock your pelvis a little bit just to find neutral spine and just gently moving. And just noticing how it feels different one side from the other. Keep relaxing through your body here. Even here, you'll perhaps be a little bit tense in the lower back, in the muscles there. And so we'll gently draw the knees in one at a time. And again, take as long as you need to here, just to rock, roll in small circles, just release through the back. Twisted roots can be quite intense. It's lovely, but you do notice it. Okay, so same again the other side. Bring your cushion for the knees to the left, and maybe another cushion or small blanket for that right shoulder. Bringing the right leg over the left. If that's too much, just let the legs go sort of parallel to each other to the side. Just see how it feels as you come into the pose. And then what we're going to do is roll over. Again, at this point, if you just want to put something added and padded underneath your hip and thigh area, then another blanket's good. So rolling over, again, just use something to support that right shoulder just behind that upper back. And you'll be able to relax more. The whole idea is to see where you can become passive and relaxed and just let the stretch sort of develop and marinate itself. So drawing your awareness to where you're holding the pose tightly. Let the legs and feet slip a little so that they find their position. And then relaxing the inner legs, calf muscles, sides of the body. Notice if you're holding a tension in one side of your waist to support the other. Relaxing through the head and neck, shoulders and arms. Breathe into the belly. And just feeling how the breath spirals up, perhaps opens up a little bit more into the right lung. Making sure you feel supported and relaxed with your cushions and your blankets. If you still feel tense, just add more cushioning. And notice your thoughts while you're here. Witness your thoughts. Are they busy? Are you in the present moment? Keep relaxing, even checking in with your abdominal muscles, whether you're tight in the tummy. And just noticing your neck and all your face. Relax the cheeks. Relax your jaw. Let's just take maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. Just follow them consciously. Breath from belly up to chest. And we'll slowly, gently come out. Start to uncross your legs. And slowly find neutral spine. And so coming out of that 2-sided pose, maybe one side felt more nourishing and easier than the other. For me, that second side was definitely a softer, more, I don't know, easier to relax into. That first side was more difficult. And you'll find that. So just noticing any differences, even with the same pose. Deep breath, long sigh, relax, soften into your back. And just enjoy what you're feeling. Again, just tune into any cold spots, spots that feel a little tingly, even warm areas. This is all different parts where our prana, our chi just shifts through the subtle body channels. Balancing the energy in our liver, kidneys, gallbladder. Because anger weakens the liver, fear weakens the kidneys. So these poses are very beneficial to us in so many ways. Let's draw the knees in. We're going to come into just bench this evening using simply a cushion. It's a lovely, lovely restful pose, but it's a nice pose to open up through the thoracic part of our spine. So if you just roll up to seated, grab simply a sofa cushion. If you haven't got that, then a blanket rolled into a square is quite nice as well, just as long as you get that kind of shape. And then what we do with this pose is we just take it a few inches from our back so that we relax into the lumbar part of our spine, and we just lie back over it. It's so very gentle. One of my favourites, if I'm honest, but so deeply restorative to your back, especially if you've been hunched over something, the shoulders and neck are tense from your day. If when you lie over this, you feel like you need something behind your neck or just something to support your head, just get a small rolled towel or something like that. And then we're just going to lie here. You can take the arm, they can be by your side or a little bit further out. There's no right or wrong. But just allow yourself to feel supported. And this particular pose encourages us to feel supported in an emotional sense. Let your lower back relax. Soften into the neck and your face. Even relax the palms of your hands. And lovely belly breaths. So the first pose of seal encouraged a nice curve into the lumbar spine, and this now into the upper back, thoracic, and up into the neck. Great for your heart center and your throat chakra too. Let yourself enjoy this feeling. Know that you deserve to feel tranquil and peaceful. If your life and day-to-day is very busy and active and always on the go, then this slowness may feel strange at first, but strangely welcome. Notice how your breath feels. Breathing to belly, but it may not feel as deep as other poses. What do you feel here? Actually feel emotionally. Just try and be aware of your thoughts, where they may drift. Just follow your breath a few more times. And then slowly we'll come out. Start by lifting your head first. And then supporting your body just to come up enough to pull the cushion out. And we'll lie back down. Only really a few inches off of the mat with the lift from that cushion, but just noticing the difference through your whole body. Relaxing again. Absorbing the benefits. Notice which poses you've liked this evening, which ones maybe you haven't liked as much. How it's felt when you've come out of the pose into this neutral space for a few moments. These moments in between are on purpose, just to really absorb the energy, absorb the feeling. So bringing these in. And we'll come into our last pose of waterfall. One of my favourites as the final pose of a practice is a gentle inversion. So if you have your cushion to hand, we're going to bring it under the buttocks. And also if you have got a little blanket that you've used earlier, this is nice just to bring it over your feet like a waterfall. So just roll your buttocks up a little, wedge that cushion underneath, lying back, make sure your head and neck are comfortable, and then just giving those legs a little rest up in the air. You can have your knees bent nicely, generously. This is a lovely pose for your heart. If you suffer with excessive fluid in the lower legs or around the ankles, then this is very beneficial. Just let your eyelids close for a few moments and stare into your third eye, gazing ahead between those eyebrows with your eyes closed, tuning into your intuition center, Ajna. Noticing any colours or shapes and memories. Deep breaths. Again, allowing your nervous system just to relax. Perhaps the breath is deeper and slower. With your eyes closed, soften all the muscles around your eyes and your forehead. Again, just let the jaw open and soften. Just allow yourself this time. Explore your thoughts. Awareness of your body and your breath. Another lovely pose from Bernie Shaw is we don't use the body to get into the pose. We use the pose to get into our body, to really tune in. Notice the things we don't feel in the day because we're so busy and the mind is elsewhere. How does this pose feel? Is it relaxing? Just noticing your thoughts. And just take a few more breaths. We'll bend our knees, lower the feet down. Pulling the cushion away gently, just find yourself into Shavasana just for a few breaths. You can let that blanket rest over you. Just feel the after effects, the difference from this pose, from previous poses. Again, following any chi movement in your body, any temperature changes. The difference in the spaciousness of your breath. And so now, relaxation. Coming into the pose that you find most restful, whether that's continuing to lie down, or if you're most comfortable coming up into a seated position. Just choose where you want to be. Just for a little while, as we come towards the end of the practice. Blankets, if you've got them, pop them round you, over your body. As long as you're comfortable. So just letting your body relax. Although the practice itself can be very relaxing, this is a time where just being rested in Shavasana, aware of your body, noticing the difference between the start of your practice to now. But there's something, one thing's just loosened up, feels a bit more open and spacious in your body. Close your eyes. I'd like you to think of a moonlit night. Can you imagine yourself sitting on a veranda, maybe with a warm blanket, in a rocking chair or a really comfy armchair? It might not be in this country, it might be somewhere else where you're looking out of a wood cabin onto forests or a lake. but just sitting on this veranda, perhaps with a nice hot chocolate or warm drink next to you, just feeling very peaceful and at one with yourself, the world, the universe. Where you are, there's no light pollution. When you look up at that full moon, it's as bright as anything, and it may even be a supermoon, like it's got bigger and coming closer. There may even be a colour over the moon. Look up into the sky, all the stars, and you may even be able to see the Milky Way far more clearly on this clear, bright night. Notice the sounds you hear of nature as it sleeps, and those parts of nature that are awake, maybe an owl in the distance just hooting away. Imagine breathing in that cold night air. What do you smell? Pine smell of the trees, wood around you, nature, just that cool evening air. And just inquiring how you feel within. Peaceful, at one with yourself. Perhaps a deep connection to everything around you that's more than just the material earth plane. Notice who comes into your mind. And just having a few moments just to sit with this lovely imagination that you've created. As we did earlier with the mindfulness of breath meditation, just take a few moments to maybe follow either your in-breath or your out-breath. how much awareness you feel with the breathing process. And just checking if you're still holding tension in your body. Shoulders, neck, arms. It's amazing sometimes how even relaxed we can be tense, and we actually have to tell ourselves still to relax. So just gently, just start to move fingers, toes. Gentle movement maybe into the head and neck. And very slowly coming back into the rest of your evening. Keeping the essence of the yin energy and just sort of absorbing things in a slow way. If you're lying down, maybe have a full body stretch, take the arms overhead. Do it in a gentle way, not intense. And then slowly bringing knees into chest and enjoying a little rock or rolling in a few circles. Again, just being mindful of everything you feel. And then slowly you can just come to seated. Take a moment, whenever you have this sort of seated moment in your practice, just root down. Send your energy roots into the earth. And then we can just bring our hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.